Morning, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Thermometer is no longer up here, and I did not finish the storage under the pantry. I got something came up, and I did not do that the other day. The temperature is over here in the kitchen because I was hooking up my netbook, and I was going to try to hook that up to the internet, but my internet is gone. So I could not do it. The temperature right now is 16 degrees out and 60 in at 8 o'clock in the morning. No wind, dead calm, and gonna be sunny today. But yeah, it's 60 in. The wood stove sort of died out a little bit. So I'm trying to get away to have my netbook hooked up and running the weather station online 24/7, but the internet is out and I have to get that repaired, so there is no well, I won't be able to do anything at all with that for a while then. It's supposed to be a sunny day today at the Off-Grid Homestead. Mostly clear sky, just some thin traces of clouds up there. Looks like it's going to be good for charging batteries today. That's good, because after 3 days of no sun, yesterday was sunny, but I wasn't here, it was church. So in the morning I hooked up whatever I could and left. But today I'll be at the homestead and in the tiny house today all day. And I'm going to hook up everything I've got today. Get all my batteries charging and topping off. Try to restore all those, all my little AA's and all my C's and D's, all my lamp batteries. Everything is empty. I was using LED lights. I was burning through my Ryobi batteries using the Ryobi lights. I was using these, I got these really awesome, I should do a review on these. I got these really awesome lights from Tractor Supply. They were $5. These was maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago I got them. You can see the LEDs in them. It's no joke. That's some serious LED light bulbs. Or LED elements, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, there's 4 in the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And then there's all these, but they burn up the batteries. This is not a something you can just hook up and let it sit there for hours and hours on end. That burns up the batteries. This takes, I think it was AA's, but 3 AAA's, and it burns through them big time. But it's a nice light. I'll show you that. I'll have to redo them and do a review on them later on. Well, can't trust the weather, man. I think that's the only job in the history of the earth where you can always be wrong and still keep your job. It is not sunny all day like they said it would be, but yeah, so I started charging everything up this morning and I took them all off because there is no sun and I don't want to drain my battery bank too low. Good news is I haven't done much. It is bitterly cold out there this morning. I moved my weather station, so I keep looking in the wrong spot. I haven't done much but work on the computer today. It's 24, but I think the well, let me hit the button here. It's 24, but the heat actual feel is like 17 or something like that, 15 or 17. Good news is the Off-Grid Project weather station is live online again. So I've been working on this morning and I finally got it going again, and the Off-Grid Project weather is live for the world to see. So you can go to www.theoffgridproject.com, and on the link bar at the top, click live weather, and you will see the indoor and outdoor temperature, indoor and outdoor humidity, wind speed, wind direction, rain gauge, the pressure, the weather tendency, even the cloud height, the time of the update, and also trends, the monthly trends, weekly trends, yearly trends. pretty exciting. It's back up and live. I'll put the link down in the description, and hope to see you guys checking it out. You can keep an eye on what it's like here at the Off-Grid Project. My batteries are, these are the sulfated batteries, the badly sulfated batteries, and the Bedini motor is desulfating them slowly. They're up to 6.22 volts, which is combined as a 12 volt battery bank would put me at 12.44 volts. So they're back up to where they were before I went on vacation. They seem to be hanging there, so I might have to do a discharge cycle on them. And what that does is, I don't know, if for some reason they get to a certain point and sort of hang there, and you... Whoa, something weird going on. There's something on the roof. It's 1:45, which in the future you'll be able to follow online now. I have been outside for a while. It's 25 degrees, really, really cold. I have been outside. The guy came to pick up the toilet, and it was so cold his engine, the gas-powered pump, wouldn't start so he could get the sludge out. And then it actually broke, and the hose blew off the tank. So that failed, and I was out here chatting with him for a while and looking over the barnwood. I'm not taking my camera out because it's too cold. The battery will just not last, and the camera isn't made for such conditions. But I am going to go cut the one of the big beams to use inside my tiny house on wheels right here as a main support beam right under this cross piece from here down to the floor. So I'll be going to cut that. It's a big beam, so I'll have to use a chainsaw to pre-cut it, and then I don't know how I'm gonna fine cut it. I might try with a chainsaw and see how well I can cut with that. So we'll see how it goes. Well, there's the beam. I just brought it in. It's not attached. It's just sitting there. Baby cat's checking it out. Something new. That's going to be the main supporting beam of this loft here in the center. Right here. This is something I always wanted, and then I finally got. You see, one side I wanted facing in, this side. I hope it's cut precisely because I did it with a chainsaw, and it's not the most precise work. So we'll see how it goes here. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a job to get it under. I want it right under there. Hoping I can get it in there straight and centered. Get into the 2x6. It's awkward to cut something to fit tight and cut it with a chainsaw at that. Let me see if I can come in the other side. Oh. Maybe, maybe not. It's definitely going to hold the weight if I can get it in there. I don't know how I'm going to get it in there. Oh, you need some prying work. Get an angle. Okay. I just know I'm going to scratch the floor though doing it like this. I know I'm going to go this way. Watch out, baby cat. Move. I'm going to go in this way. Big piece of wood. Dirty too. There was no way to get it fully clean because I was outside and it's frozen out there. Yeah. Now I'll get a block of wood and a hammer. I'll be back and I'll beat that in there. Trying to level this out. Okay. It's good. Well, there's the center beam that I wanted. Now that loft is not gonna move. No more. That's the old barn beam. Part of the rustic look of my cottage that I'm going to have. All recycled lumber. I got my beam. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So that's centered basically right under this junction here. Under the my supporting beam, which is going to be covered with pallet wood and look rustic later. I wish I had had a real beam for that. That's what I really wanted, but you know, you take what you can get when you got it. But there's my real 100-year-old rustic barn beam. The real thing. How cool is that? It's part of the look of the tiny cottage on wheels that I wanted. A real beam in the house. So that's centered. I mean, that's leveled. Actually, it's not quite centered. I'm gonna have to put it over a little bit more. I want it centered on here and level, so I've got to get it over a little bit more. It's a job, but I think it's worth it. I think it is an amazing piece. Now, people in Manhattan pay $20 a foot for this stuff. Actually, this is a thicker board, so this would be like $50 a foot. Crazy. I like it. Some progress in a tiny house on wheels. I'm back to work. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So, it's taking shape. Well, I haven't been recording anything at all, so I figured I might as well turn on the camera before it gets too dark. This is solid oak from that barn. And I'm just pulling out the nails. I just cut it to 8 feet long, which is what I'll use for my shelf inside on the back wall behind the table. Oh, got lucky. There was no head on that nail. And that one's broke off inside. So there's an old plank, heavy oak. It's going to make it hard to work with. That's an 8-foot board, which will be a shelf, a bookshelf, 8 foot long. And then the backing for the board, which will bolt onto the wall, will be this piece, also from that barn. I'm going to take this over and sweep it off before I go in the house. Running out of daylight. It's early. I just got back from the vet. I was worried about baby cat because she was lethargic and growling for 2 days. So I took her in and they said she's got hairballs. But they're running a blood work on her anyway. So we'll see. Probably from the stress of traveling. Cats shed a bit more when they've been traveling. They're stressed. So I'm just looking for the best part of this wood. What I'll be using for the back side of the shelf. The nail holes are going to add character, of course, which we always like to have in their rustic looking homes. I don't try not to lose any nails ever. So I was over at the barn pile, and there is a lot of nice wood over there. Wow, there's a lot of good wood. If I had had that at the beginning of this project, things would be different. But hey, it is how it is. It turned out anyway, and I still got a lot of work to do. So I'll be using it. All the shelving and the decorative beams, as you saw earlier. I'm rushing to do this now because tomorrow is going to be we got a northeaster coming, they're saying. That's going to be bad weather again. Notice this is too thick for my saw. This is real 2x4s. Hope you can see that actually. Yeah. This is real 2x4s. Real 2-inch thick wood. Good stuff. And they didn't cheat you back in the day. 8 foot. So I'll be doing the cutting out here, and then I'll go inside and do the finishing work after I sweep it. Take it in and sweep it off, or sweep it off out here, take it in and do the, that's got to get out of the way. Assembling and mounting onto the wall. Oh, there's 2 more nails I forgot. So anyway, yeah, I've been busy traveling and hunting and nothing exciting for video. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm back to work, back at the homestead, and back at the tiny house on wheels. Tiny cottage on wheels, tiny cabin on wheels. Hunting shack, well, what I want, whatever. Whatever I feel like today. Cut. Alright. And doesn't cut through. That's old wood. Wow, it's old. You can tell it's old wood. So there's my beautiful beam that will go on the back wall. The shelf will be bolted, screwed to this, and this will be screwed to the wall to each of the studs. I'll have 2 screws into each stud on the wall, and then I'll have a supporting framework coming from the outside of the shelf down wherever needed to bolt down to the studs here and there, and help take the pressure off the boards, so it'll hold the weight of the books. Anyway, there it is. Gonna brush it off and take it inside. Got an old horsehair brush, pretty fitting for an old barn. It's funny. I just don't want to take any loose dirt any more than I have to. That old beam brought in a lot of dirt, but that was frozen solid, the filth on that. I'll clean it as it thaws and melts. This is cleaner wood. The beam is beautiful inside there though. Hope it really shows up on camera well enough. The guy came to take my toilet away today, the rental, and I think I mentioned it earlier. I'm not sure if I did or not, so forgive me if I repeat. But he had troubles because everything's froze up so cold today. So that didn't happen. But I'm out of the contract, so that's a good thing. Thank you again, Airhead Toilets, for sending me the composting toilet. Gonna save me some money on that. Alright, we'll take these in and I'll start screwing them together and put them up on the wall. Hope you can still see, actually. I wanted to show you the wood I got here. That's a mixture of barn wood and see, this is a split end from the, I don't know what that's to. That's a piece of a beam. Oh no, that's a broken piece of that big beam. That was the end. It broke off into pieces, and I think that's what no, I don't know, but anyways, it all broke apart, and so I'm using the scrap ends. I already put a piece in the wood stove, and all these end pieces here, odds and ends from that barn wood. This is oak. This will burn well. I'm actually going to cut this up real quick. Once I take the wood inside, I'll cut this up out here before it's pitch black and stack it up, because I have to get a bunch of wood in tonight. Tomorrow's going to be, starting this evening is going to be freezing rain and snow and a big bad storm coming along. So I've got to get a bunch of wood inside. I try to keep the tiny house heated 24/7 so that it stays, so it's maintained basically. And if I don't get wood in, then tomorrow I won't have anything dry. So that is actually a good day and a half right there, a burning, what I got piled up already. By the time I cut the rest of these scraps right here, it'll be 2 days of burning. Now I'd like to ask your opinion. I want to sit here and show you the size of this. I'm not the type to I don't like to waste, okay? I don't like to waste anything. You can see this is what the cut off end of that big oak beam, heavy duty oak beam. This is a 6x6 solid oak, and it's beautiful because you still see the rough edge of the tree trunk and the rough saw cut of it. It's beautiful. I'm wondering, guys, what you think I should do with that. Any suggestions, any ideas what I could do with something like that? Maybe a stool? You know, if you cut it and put legs on it, it makes a nice stool, or what? But I think it's just too nice a chunk of wood to waste in the wood stove. Solid oak. Tell me what you think, everybody. I'm open to suggestions on that. Baby, come. Come on. Good afternoon. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and just sitting down taking a little break. While I was in town with Baby Cat, I stopped over to McDonald's and got one of my favorite coffees. They do it right here. This particular McDonald's, they do it right. And hey, for $1, it's nice. I can't complain. It tastes really good. Not trying to promote McDonald's. This is not a commercial. It's just my choice. A lot of people say that buying groceries and buying occasional drinks while you're in town is not living off the grid, but that's it's a bit of a confusion. I've covered this before, but I see a lot of people comment about it. Off-grid living means no electricity, no connection to the power grid. That is off-grid. You can go further and have no water connections and no sewage connections, which is the way this house is set up. Having internet, I don't believe means you're on the grid. And tomorrow the propane company is supposed to come and hook up. My parents got me a heater. They got me a blue flame heater, which is a funny housewarming gift in multiple ways. But anyway, propane, is it off the grid? Is it on the grid? Well, it is tied to the system, but my propane is going to be a standby, sort of a backup. It's going to be, I use wood heat primarily, and I'll have propane for a backup. So if I have to go away for an extended period and leave the property and leave the tiny house untended, the propane will maintain. I don't consider that a cheating in any way. It's just a benefit in using this system that we currently have. Now, on my path to self-sufficiency, I plan on producing all of my own foods, my own medicines, my own products, basically. My intention is to not have to go to the grocery store anymore. Probably in another 2 years it's going to take me to become self-sufficient, because it's not that easy. Speaking of which, if you're going to go off the grid, I can tell you from experience, it's hard unless you have a family. If you've got a family, it's going to be so much better. But when you're out here alone, I sprained my ankle today. What am I going to do? Keep going. There's nothing I can do out here. Just rub it a little bit and keep going. Actually, I found that on a mild sprain, my experience, I'm not a doctor, but my experience, I found it's better to keep working it on a mild sprain. In my experience, don't take me, don't quote me there. But what happened? I was carrying a heavy piece of wood, a piece of oak. It was the beam, my center beam, in my kitchen, and my foot came down on the leaves are filling the gaps in the rocks, so my foot came down, and all of a sudden it went and twisted in sideways into a hole. I could have broke my ankle, and there would have been laying. No way. Didn't have my phone. I could have got jammed in there and been stuck. And so it's dangerous out here alone. I'm not complaining or anything, just telling you the facts. If you ever decide to do such a thing, it's better not to be alone. It's safety and makes the work go better. I wouldn't have had to be carrying that heavy monstrosity alone if I had help, obviously. And I probably wouldn't have sprained my ankle like I did. But it's a beauty. I'm looking at it right now. It's a beauty. This is what I wanted. Once I get it oiled down and cleaned, it's going to take some cleaning and some oiling. Once I get that cleaned and oiled down, it's going to be a beauty. Now, I still have to decide how high I'm going to put the shelf. I'm not yet sure. I'm still figuring it out, and so I'm having my coffee here. And I've really got to figure out where all the shelves in here are going to go, because once they're on, they're on. And, once you put holes in your walls, they're there. So it's going to be a one-shot deal, and it's going to be permanent. So I'm just going to really think about it a little bit. I'm going to sit at the chair and see where my head comes, and make sure if I do want to sit here at the table in the corner, that it's not going to be in the way and people aren't going to thump their heads on it. Although if I had guests, I could always pull the table out a little bit to eat here in the corner. Well, I'm giving it some thought and deciding how I want to do that. My baby cat. So baby cat has hairballs. She's got some medication for that. She was growly and irritable, and I didn't want to risk. I love my little furry friend. I didn't want to risk her getting hurt. My parents just lost a dog recently. Came home one day and it was lethargic and laying still, and they took it in and it died. And that's just horrible. They loved him so much. My sister last year lost her favorite cat. She got home when it was lethargic one day, took it in the next day, and it was too late. So I didn't take a chance on baby cat. Her hair was fluffed up and sort of not quite right today. She was really irritable. I took her right in. And she's going to be okay. Now, baby cat, you're going to be alright. Yeah, she's growling. I don't know if you heard that. Now, baby, you growl, yeah? You still irritable? Yeah, you'll be alright. We'll take care of her. Well, I'm going to finish my coffee, do some measurements, and get back to work. See you soon.